Hi there, this is David, and welcome back to Let's Play The Legend of Heroes Trails of Cold Steel 2! That's right, there's actually more! After that little fake-out ending that we had last time. Yeah, the credits didn't roll or anything else like that, so couldn't possibly be the ending. Just as a side note, did I actually fool anybody with that ending? Probably not. We'll see. So, yeah, we're over here in Crossbell, of all places. Wonder what's going on here. I mean, I remember Chancellor Osborne saying that he wanted to invade Crossbell. So I guess it's like a week later? Well, no, it said it was March, so it's 3 months later. Oh, so Crossbell's holding out, I guess, after their assault. This doesn't look good for them, though. I mean, a small little city-state of Crossbell against the entire Erebonian Empire? And they must have, better weapons, better armor, better tanks, better everything else. So, who knows? So this is actually really nice that we get to, have, a glimpse into Crossbell. We really don't get to see much about Crossbell. We hear a lot about Crossbell. I mean, we've heard about Crossbell, hell, ever since, the first Trails in the Sky game. But we never actually got to play in Crossbell, but, hey, everything changes. We get to play in Crossbell today! Whoa! Wow. Yeah, things don't look so hot for them, so hopefully they'll be okay. But we already know that Erebonian took over Crossbell. If you know anything about the Trails of Azure or the Trails of Zero games, you might know that. I don't really know much about those games, to be quite honest with you. In order to talk about them, I'm probably going to look them up on Wikipedia or something. If any of you guys know more about the Crossbell games, please feel free to tell me all about them in the comments. I would love to know about them. But I'm also looking forward to the fan translation. Hasn't come in yet, but hopefully it'll come in soon. Was that just my imagination, or was that Valimar? Yeah, it is Valimar, so Rean's alright. Great. But is Rean really trying to take over Crossbell? Is he really fighting for Chancellor Osborne? How crazy!
The area beyond here is Imperial territory. You have no business treading into Crossbell. That was a warning. Try to advance any farther, and I will show no mercy.
So, I guess Rean is actually protecting Crossbell? But at this point, Crossbell is part of Erebonia. It's already been taken over, so he is working for Chancellor Osborne? He is working for his father? I'm kinda confused. They kinda tacked this on kind of strangely, but, I mean, I'm glad that it's here. Hopefully it'll answer some more questions.
Not at all. I'm still fairly inexperienced, if you ask me.
Oh, good old Rean, still as humble as ever. And his sword just vanishes into thin air.
Recover the wounded and any POWs and return to Tangram Gate. Just remain vigilant until the speech is over.
The speech? I wonder if it's Chancellor Osborne. The Divertissement? There's your word of the day, viewers.
It's now March 1205 of the Septian calendar. Over 2 months have passed since the Azure Tree vanished.
And now, who's this guy? By the way, I actually had to look up Divertissement, because, I've never heard of it before. And apparently it is a dance sequence or short ballet, usually used as an interlude. I don't know how this relates to dance, but I can kind of see how it's an interlude. So does that mean that we're going to be controlling Class 7 after this?
So much happened during those months. President Croix was arrested, Crossbell's movement for independence was promptly declared invalid. And before anyone could process what was going on, Speaker McDowell became Mayor McDowell. The war in Erebonia came to an end sooner than anyone had anticipated, but it was quickly followed by the invasion of Crossbell.
Erebonia really doesn't like peace, do they? It's kind of cool. I like the little town. I mean, these games originally came out on the PSP, so they're kind of reimagining Crossbell in 3D right now. It's rather nice.
Gorelia Fortress, which once served as the only physical link between the two nations, was no more. But that proved to be little more than a temporary setback for the Imperial Army, who acted by flying hundreds of tanks over the state from a vast airship. In no time at all, Crossbell was occupied.
It would be really cool if they did like a 3D remake of the Crossbell games for the PS4 or the PS3. I'm all about it.
The Calvard Republic, which had been wrapped up in its own share of chaotic internal disputes, finally reacted to Erebonia's bold invasion in turn. They began with sending its cutting-edge armored airborne divisions into Crossbell, hoping to force the Empire out of the region completely.
Oh, okay, so that's what we saw earlier, all those armies and tanks and everything that said they were like Republic tanks and everything. That was the Calvard Republic trying to gain control back of Crossbell, but then, Rean and the rest of the Erebonians have kicked their ass.
But every attempt they made resulted in failure, as they were repelled effortlessly by one soldat after another. And today, at Orchis Tower, the new seat of Crossbell's government, the new rulers of Crossbell rose to deliver a rousing speech.
So, who are the new rulers? If Erebonia is in control of it, would it be the king? Would it be the chancellor? I don't know. Speaking of this, if you remember in the first game, whenever Toa went to Crossbell for that meeting, that happened at the end of the second Crossbell game. So just to kind of give you a little bit of the timeline going on here.
Friends and citizens, it brings me great pleasure to stand here among you once again. But even in the midst of such gladness, the specter of the harm Crossbell has visited upon the Empire lingers still. The destruction of Garrelia Fortress and the ensuing civil war it caused has taken a great toll in resources and in lives. The anger, sorrow, and dismay in the hearts of the Erebonian people is still fresh, still too near. But today is a joyous day, a day to put the troubles of the past behind us. Let us join hands and step boldly into the future, leaving our anger and grief behind. Challenges will rise before us, but together we shall meet them. Together we can rise above the tumult of these troubled times. Men and women, old and young, rich and poor, those from every walk of life can share in these aspirations. Looking toward that goal, there is someone I'd like to introduce to you today. A brilliant young man who played a pivotal role in bringing Erebonia's civil war to its swift conclusion, and the individual most responsible for the historic accomplishment that sees me standing before you today.
Rean? Oh, Rufus?
The first Governor General of Crossbell, Lord Rufus Alberea.
Well, I guess it makes sense. He is the first Ironblood after all, and he's a noble, so he has some governing experience.
Greetings, friends. It truly lifts my spirits to be here among you. I'm honored to have been entrusted with the profound responsibility of acting as Crossbell's first Governor General. As I'm sure you're all aware, the division between the nobility and the common people is a long-standing part of Erebonian life. Personally, I stand in support of our class system, but I fully expect that one day it will fade away. After all, if each citizen of the Empire conducts themselves with the courage, dignity, and grace expected of a noble, then what difference would remain between myself and any of you? As I hope for that day, allow me to speak not only as your Governor General, but as an individual when I say, in the name of His Imperial Majesty, Emperor Eugene III, I hereby proclaim the annexation of Crossbell into the Erebonian Empire.
May the goddess above stand witness, and may she forever bless Erebonia and Crossbell with the light of prosperity.
Wow, what a dick speech. I mean, if it were me and I was making a speech and I just annexed a country, I would really try to, make amends, build bridges, talk about how we're going to make Crossbell such a better place and why this is good for the people, but instead he talks about the class system and why the class system is so great because he's a noble. I don't know, I expected more from you, Rufus. That was kind of crappy. Grace Lynn. Huh. Why? He didn't really say anything good for the people. I mean, you have all these common people over there, and, it doesn't make any sense. It makes no sense. I mean, I know that Rufus is an Ironblood. I know that, he's the Chancellor's right-hand man. He's the #1 guy. But what I guess I don't understand is, since the Chancellor is a friend of the common folk, why is Rufus his right-hand man? Because Rufus is, way on up there in the nobility. And then seeing as he wants to, build bridges with the common folk, he then puts Rufus up there to pretty much rub it in their face that they're not nobility? It just, I don't know, it makes no sense. It makes no frickin' sense at all. But apparently it makes sense to these guys, because they're talking about how Rufus is so difficult to hate. What are you kidding me? Give me a break! Yeah. Oh, that's true, yeah, that Azure Tree, whatever became of that? I guess if we really want to know, we'll have to get those Crossbell games. Again, it would be really, really cool if they redid those for the PS4. I'd be all about that. Maybe, bundle them together into one game for the PS4? Hey, that'd be great. Oh. Okay. Why don't these guys, just go to Calvard while all this crap is happening in Crossbell? Calvard seems to be at peace with Crossbell, at least. I mean, at least they're trying to, get them their independence back. Oh, yeah. So, can you do anything about it? Are we going to be controlling you? Will you get, the hot scoop? Oh, yeah. Is it just me, or does anybody else get, an April O'Neil vibe from this girl? The reporter, the yellow jumpsuit, all that.
That's all we of Heiue can do for you, I'm afraid.
And who are you? Oh my god, man, I'm never gonna make heads or tails of any of this stuff. Can we just stick with one scene and, kind of flesh it out here? Cow?
The guards have been given a little incentive to stay out of your way. You should face no more obstacles in your operation.
Thanks, Sal.
Think nothing of it. It's my pleasure to play all the cards I can. The place you're aiming for is where all the information in Crossbell gathers, as well as its Achilles heel. What you're doing does us no shortage of favors, I'll have you know.
Well, just this once? I'm happy to hear that.
Do take care, Yin. My apologies. Risha. I've received information that quite a skilled warrior is in Crossbell at the moment.
As have I. Nonetheless, thank you for your warning.
Oh, not at all. I wouldn't want anything happening to a valuable future business partner. I believe that does it for me. I'll be praying for your success.
So these two were protagonists of the Crossbell games on the PSP. Ooh, look at that. I'll have to have her lead the party as some fan service there.
He's being awfully cooperative, isn't he? Then again, it's not a stretch to think he's only doing it because he's got something up his sleeve.
He's an incredibly shrewd man. Most likely, he's happy to do whatever will shine the most favorable light on him once Crossbell's occupation period is over.
True enough. He wouldn't want to screw up his chance to potentially play mediator between Crossbell and the Republic. I get the feeling he'd get along great with Lecter. He's our ally for now, but there's no guarantee how long that'll last.
Exactly. It's in our best interest to remain wary of him. Still, if working with him helps protect those I care about most, then I'll gladly do so.
Likewise.
Oh, so they know Lecter as well. Huh. So we have a cat girl and this other guy, Lloyd. And they're looking for some information, like the Achilles heel, something that will more than likely, I guess, bring down Erebonia. So, who's this guy? Lloyd Bannings. Huh. And her? Rixia Mao. Looks kind of like Chun-Li. I don't know.
Tio said to aim for the area up ahead. Crossbell's future rests in our hands. So let's get moving.
Right.
Okay, who's Tio? I thought his name was Cow. I don't know. Huh, Ark and CL. Wasn't there a game about Ark and CL or something? I don't
Allow
know.
me.
So first things first, fan service. Yeah, make her lead the way. And then I just want to go through each party member and just kind of show you what they all have. We don't get to share inventory, so it is what it is as far as what they're equipped with and the items and everything. So that could make this relatively difficult. Lloyd is pretty much your all-rounder, your attacker, and Rixia is essentially, I mean, she's a pretty good attacker as well, but she's better at magic and she's a bit faster. Ooh, and she has Murakumo as well. Nice! These are pretty much the crafts, and I'm going to be going through and using all the various crafts of each person and their S-breaks and all that kind of stuff, making sure that I show off everything as much as I can. So with all that, first things first, we need to go right back where we came from, and hey, look at the Crossbell times. I don't know, you guys were just kind of standing there 2 seconds ago. You didn't notice it before? Oh, huh. How does she have those cat ears anyway? Is that like a ribbon in her hair, or is her hair just kind of like styled in such a way that it shows ears?
Commencing subjugation. Allow me.
Okay, so first things first, let's go ahead and show off this crap. True Dragon Claws. What's nice about it is that it hits the enemies twice. It's amazing! Yeah, those guys have a lot of physical defense.
All right, we're safe now.
So it takes some time to bring them down, and you might want to use magic against them, just to make it easier. They're actually weak to earth magic, but I'd rather use Rixia's magic because, you know, she's just better at magic in general. What now? Whoa! Yikes! Didn't we fight a boss like this in, like, the main game? I kinda think we did. It looks familiar to me. I don't exactly remember, though, but I'm pretty sure we did.
Commencing subjugation.
Okay, so let's see. Does anything hit all of them? No. Yeah, that's just a self buff. I don't want to worry about that. What about maybe your S-Craft? That doesn't hit them all either? Seriously? Well, I guess we can hit most of them.
Finish now. Rising sun.
Sweet!
Allow me.
Oh wow, and he gained back a lot of CP too. Yeah, just use Flame Tongue against this guy, because again, his defense power is through the roof. Arts is totally the way to go. And I know that I bitch about arts all the time, but every once in a rare while they do come in handy. So let me show you what I mean about their defense power. Yeah, only 2,000 damage, and I could have used an art and dealt like 13,000 damage.
Allow me.
I'll stick with arts, thank you very much. Hey, and she's a really fast caster too. Nice! Yeah, look at that damage. That's totally the way to go.
Let's keep moving.
Okay. So, we took care of them, but I thought that guy said that there wouldn't be anybody standing in our way. Lying asshole.
That was some fight.
This sector has been abandoned for quite some time. It's not hard to imagine why so many powerful monsters settled in here. What amazes me more is just how much these Arcus orbments are capable of.
Yeah, they'll be a real asset to us in the future. They're so modern, they're practically still in testing over at the Empire.
Huh, well that's nice. We don't have to learn like a new orbment system, so hey.
I miss the variety of arts I could use before, but in terms of balance, they're much more suited for combat than our Enigma 2s.
Well, Erebonia's always had the upper hand on military technology, if nothing else. We should count ourselves lucky that Michel got his hands on them for us. On that note, we should also count ourselves lucky for being able to utilize them so well. I don't think we've had a single problem linking up.
I admit, it's a strange feeling. It's as if we knew everything there was to know about one another, through and through. Almost as if our bodies became one.
poetic. Sort of like how you perform with Elia on stage, right? That's like being one, in a sense.
Now that you mention it, you could put it that way, yes. At this point, however, I doubt I would even need one of these to match my movements to hers in battle.
Well, there's a lot of name dropping here, but it's kind of meaningless to me. Huh, so where exactly are we? Are we in sewers? If we're in sewers, I'll never forgive you, game.
So this is what the Geofence E sector looks like. This one supposedly had its existence hidden from the general public, didn't it?
That's what Ellie said anyway. It was kept sealed off to keep everything inside strictly confidential. Corrupt officials and Diet members used it to conceal any information they didn't want leaking out. She did add that it wasn't its only use, though. Just one of them.
I see. Not the kind of place we can just leave as it is, then.
Yeah. We need to make our way through here, whatever it takes. Ready to give it everything we've got?
Of course.
And make our way through we shall! Next time on Let's Play The Legend of Heroes Chosen Cold Steel 2. This has been David. If you like this, please like, comment, and subscribe, and have a good day.